These are the 5 easiest and safest wild plants you can identify and eat in North America, even if you have never tried foraging. Foraging, finding and collecting food from the wild, is the oldest human survival skill in existence. We have been doing it for tens of thousands of years, but somewhere along the way, most of us forgot how. Now, with food prices climbing and a growing desire to reconnect with nature, plus post-pandemic curiosity that has driven up 500% more traffic to foraging websites and classes, millions of people are trying to relearn what our ancestors knew by instinct. The problem is, getting it wrong can be genuinely dangerous. There are over 1,000 species of poisonous plants in the world, including deadly lookalikes like poison hemlock, and some can kill you in just 1 or 2 bites. So today we are focusing on the absolute safest starting points. 5 plants that are easy to find, easy to identify, and in most cases have no dangerous lookalikes whatsoever. By the end of this, you will be able to walk out your front door and recognize free food growing in your own yard. But before we jump into the list, let's talk about the single most important rule in foraging. Never eat anything you cannot identify with complete confidence. Not 90% sure, not pretty sure, not thinking it looks close. Complete confidence. Use at least 2 trustworthy references to confirm what you are looking at, whether that is a regional field guide, a reputable app like iNaturalist or Seek, or an expert-led walk. And never rely on a phone app as your sole identifier. These are tools, not authorities. Also, do not forage near roads, railways, power lines, or anywhere pesticides or chemical runoff might be present. Try new wild foods one at a time and start with a small amount so you can rule out any personal allergies. As Robin Greenfield, the sustainable living activist who spent an entire year eating nothing but foraged food, says, if you learn 1 plant every month for a year, at the end of that year you will know 12 plants. If you can walk outside your door and harvest 12 different plants, that is a lot. All right, let's start with the most obvious one. Plant number 1, dandelion, scientifically known as Taraxacum officinale. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that a weed is a plant whose virtues have not yet been discovered. He could have been talking directly about the dandelion. This so-called weed grows on all 7 continents. European settlers actually brought it to North America on purpose because they knew how valuable it was as a food source. Dandelion is arguably the single safest plant you can forage. Its name comes from the French words dents de lion, meaning lion's teeth, because of those deeply toothed, serrated leaves. The leaves have no hairs or fuzz and grow in a rosette pattern from a strong central taproot. Here is what makes dandelion truly perfect for beginners. Every single one of its lookalikes is also edible. Cat's ear, or Hypocaris radicata, which is the most common one you might confuse it with, has hairy leaves and branching stems instead of hollow ones. Even if you pick that by mistake, it is completely safe. The nutritional profile is staggering. Half a cup of dandelion greens contains more calcium than a glass of milk, more iron than spinach, and more vitamin A than carrots. The entire plant is edible. Eat the young leaves raw in salads, roast the roots as a caffeine-free coffee substitute, or brew the flowers into tea or wine. Dandelion can legitimately outcompete kale and spinach for nutritional value. Plant number 2, wild blackberries and raspberries from the rubus family. These are among the most forager-friendly plants in North America, and for good reason. Wild blackberries grow in every single contiguous United States state. You will find them along roadsides, forest edges, abandoned fields, and trail margins. And here is the beautiful thing. Pretty much everything that looks like a raspberry or blackberry is either a raspberry, a blackberry, or another closely related edible species such as thimbleberries or salmonberries. All delicious, all safe. The one identification trick worth knowing is the core test. When you pick a ripe raspberry, the fleshy fruit separates and the white core stays attached to the plant. A blackberry comes off with its core intact. That is the difference. Wild black raspberries in particular have been shown through scientific analysis to have exceptional antioxidant capacity. Berry season runs from June in southern regions through September in the north. Plant number 3, stinging nettle, Urtica dioica. Now, this one surprises people. Yes, this is the same plant that makes your skin burn and itch if you brush against it. Those tiny hairs on the leaves and stems, called trichomes, are specialized hair-like structures that contain chemicals that can sting for hours. But here's the twist. Once you cook or dry stinging nettle, it becomes completely safe to eat, and it transforms into one of the most nutrient-dense greens available in the wild. We're talking calcium, manganese, fiber, plus lutein and zeaxanthin for eye health. Nettle is actually easy to identify precisely because of that sting. It has a square stem, opposite serrated leaves that are triangular or heart-shaped, and a vibrant green color, sometimes tinged with purple. Native indigenous peoples have gathered stinging nettles since time immemorial, using them as food, medicine, and even material for rope, cloth, and fishing nets. The key to harvesting is protection. Wear long sleeves, long pants, and rubber kitchen gloves. Use sharp scissors. Gather in early spring before the plant flowers, and choose leaves no larger than 3 inches wide from plants no taller than 3 feet. To prepare them, blanch the leaves in boiling water for 30 to 60 seconds, then transfer them to an ice bath. The sting disappears completely. Plant number 4, broadleaf plantain, Plantago major, not the banana-like fruit. This plant, Plantago major, is low-growing, and you have almost certainly walked past it 1,000 times without noticing. It grows in lawns, sidewalk cracks, meadows, and roadsides across North America, Europe, and Asia. Broadleaf plantain has green, oval-shaped leaves that grow in a rosette pattern with prominent parallel veins. The coolest identification feature is this. If you tear a leaf in half, the veins stay intact and pull apart like little strings. Kids sometimes call it the guitar string plant. Its lookalikes, hoary plantain and ribwort plantain, are also safe to eat. The entire plant is edible, tasting similar to spinach or chard. It is packed with zinc, calcium, fiber, and vitamins A, C, and K. Historically, it was so closely associated with European colonists that Native Americans called it white man's footstep because it appeared wherever settlers went. Plantain also has a long history as a natural first aid remedy, often called nature's band-aid. It contains a natural antihistamine that can help with nettle stings and insect bites. Plant number 5, chickweed, Stellaria media. This delicate little plant rounds out our list as one of the most abundant and easily identifiable wild edibles on the planet. Chickweed has small white star-shaped flowers with 5 deeply notched petals that make them look like 10. Its leaves are bright green, oval, and grow in opposite pairs along tender stems. And here is the telltale sign. Look for a single line of fine hairs running along one side of the stem. No dangerous lookalikes exist. Chickweed has a mild, pleasant flavor similar to spinach and is excellent raw in salads or sandwiches. It grows throughout temperate zones worldwide, especially in moist, shady spots, and in mild climates it is available nearly year-round. An honorable mention is lamb's quarters Chenopodium album. It is another incredibly nutritious and safe beginner plant worth learning. It is often called wild spinach, and it contains more nutrition than most cultivated greens. So there you have it. 5 plants, all common, all safe, all nutritious, and all identifiable with just a handful of distinctive features. Dandelion, wild berries, stinging nettle, broadleaf plantain, and chickweed. You could walk outside today and probably find at least 2 of them within 100 yards of where you're sitting right now. If you want to go deeper, Samuel Thayer's books, The Forager's Harvest and Nature's Garden, are considered some of the best resources available. On social media, look up Alexis Nicole Nelson, known as the Black Forager, the world's most watched forager. She ends every video with a reminder we should all take to heart. Happy foraging, don't die.